Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a little bit different. Yeah, this is kind of a difficult video. You know, I've always done videos that are to do with like fashion or whatever, shopping or hauls, and this one's kind of different for me, so bear with me a little bit, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about myself. And obviously I have had some cosmetic procedures, and they go back over 10 years ago, so I'm going to go into detail about those and as to why I had them done as well. Let's get started with the video. So just before we start, I'm just going to add a bit of a disclaimer. This is just my own personal experience. This is the way I felt at the time. I'm not suggesting that anyone should be getting anything in particular done. I would always do research as well before you go and do anything at all. Don't go and do anything just off the back of, you know, one thing. I literally researched some of the stuff for over a year before I considered. So I actually took my time to decide what I was going to do before I did anything at all. And make sure you research the place that you're going to have it done. So let me just go back. I am going to include some pictures as well that I'll pop on the screen here. So let me just take you back now in time. So anyway, about a year ago, I decided that I was going to have my nose corrected. At the time, I'll pop some pictures here, a before picture. At the time, I got bullied in school basically because I had a bump on my nose. My nose was quite large. Actually, I don't think it was that large now, but you know what kids are like. They pick on you in school, and it was one of the things that that people bullied me for. I don't know why they bullied me, but they just did. And it kind of stuck with me a little bit. I kind of used to hide behind my hair a little bit. I never liked anyone looking at me from the side profile because I thought that they was focusing on my nose. I was literally obsessed since I got bullied about my nose. And not only one person bullied me, quite a few people bullied me as well. And it kind of stuck with me for ages, and I had a real complex about it. And it was only when I think I was about 30, I decided to have a look into having my nose done. So I went to a couple of places in Manchester because that's where I lived at the time, and I went for a couple of consultations. Now I went to Transform, that was one of the places. And to have what I wanted done, which is basically what I had done in the end, was shave the bone off, make the nose smaller. It was quite a big procedure, and it was going to cost me about £5,000 to £6,000 because it was quite a big procedure. It wasn't just shaving a bit of bone off. I wanted my nose actually remodeling and making smaller. So it would have cost me, and this is over 10 years ago. I'll try and find the exact date. I'm not completely sure, but I think I can probably find out. I'll pop it on the screen here of the date that I did have it done, but it wasn't with Transform. So obviously a Transform I did consider. I then researched a place in Belgium for about a whole year, and it's a place called Beaucaire, and that is where I ended up having it done in the end. I looked into this place for one whole year. I researched all the surgeons. I went for a consultation. I didn't have to go to Belgium for the consultation. They actually come over every month, I think. I think they still do this as well. And they hold consultations in some of the major cities. So I went to Manchester, met with the surgeon there. He advised obviously about my nose and what they could do. They could definitely do what I wanted. Now at the time, I thought, okay, it would have cost me about £5,000 to £6,000 to have it done in the UK. To have it done with them was only £2,900, so it's quite a massive, or 2,800 or something. It was quite a huge saving anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'm not happy with my boobs as well. I felt as well, this was a secondary thing. This was not a major thing for me. My intention was never to have my boobs done. But I thought, you know, I was going to spend £5,000 to have it done in the UK. Why not have my boobs done as well? I wasn't totally happy with them. I felt that they were too small for my body. So I'm obviously 5'10". I've always been skinny all my life. I was skinny. And then obviously when I got to, well, I've kind of put a bit of weight on now since I hit 40. I'm 43, by the way. Just for you people that didn't know how old I was. So yeah, I thought, well, I wasn't completely happy with my boobs. I'm not going to show you a picture of my old boobs, but they were quite small. I was a B cup. I B2C cup, so, but they felt quite ski slopey, a little bit empty at the top, and I felt quite, I always had big hips, you know, childbearing hips. I always had big hips, so I always felt quite small at the top, quite pear-shaped, and it isn't what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a bit hourglassy. So I thought, well, I'll ask about my boobs as well. So they had a look and they went, yes, we can do those. You know, we're not going to go too big on you because that wouldn't suit you. They gave me 2 different sizes. I'll try and find the details for the screen because off the top of my head, it's over 10 years ago. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But they said that, yes, they could do that. That would have been 2,200. So I could have the whole lot done for about £5,000, which was exactly what I was going to just pay for my nose in the UK. So I took this information away. I didn't decide on the day. They said to me I had some time to decide. They told me when they could fit me in. And I just had to let them know if I wanted it doing or not. So I decided after a year, I'd already done the year of finding out about the clinic and everything, so that had kind of gone by already. I thought, no, that's it, I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to have it done. That's it. I just split up with my boyfriend. I needed something not always the best, and I'm not recommending this. I did it kind of off the back of a breakup, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get this done. It's going to make me feel better, but that is not what I recommend. But I did it anyway because I know it's been something that had been bugging me for so long, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something for me for a change. I'm not going to let people dictate, because that's what happens sometimes. People sort of influence your life and they talk you out of things. You don't end up doing what you want. Just sometimes just focus. And you know, I wanted to be clear at what I was doing, research the place and do what I wanted to do. So I went ahead. My friend came with me, Cal, and we drove down to London, and we got the underground to Belgium, and we stayed in a little hotel which is sort of associated with the place and with the hospital sort of thing, which is just around the corner, and they give you a bit of a discount if you stay there, because this is just a day clinic. Let me just explain. You don't stay overnight. You're in the morning, you're out in the evening, and they do it all in one go. So I went in there. I think I was in for like 5 hours, to the point where my friend was slightly worried. But yeah, my nose took the longest. My boobs took about an hour and a half, I think, and my nose took the rest. So, and I woke up feeling amazing, to be honest. I woke up in a lovely recovery room. I've got to say, the place in Boca is amazing. It's clean, it's beautiful. You wake up in a recovery room and you're watching the little rabbits run in the garden. I could not recommend this place enough. And if I was to have anything else done, you know, I might be getting my eyelids done at some point. But if I do, I would definitely go back there to have them done. I totally trust them 100%. But yeah, it was amazing. And so we stayed there for a couple of days, and then I went back to have a checkup as well. So I'm going to insert here, before I get carried away on the story, a couple of before pictures of my nose and everything. And then, so you can have a look at those. There they are. And then obviously here are the pictures just after the surgery. Now these are quite horrific, so don't be alarmed. I look like I've been in a car crash. When you first have your nose done, you have a bandage under your nose, and literally blood is pouring from your nose at some point, because they've had to break it and they've had to chisel it down and they've had to chop it up and stitch it back together, basically. So don't be alarmed that I look like I've been in a car crash. I'm strapped up around the chest, I'm strapped up the nose, and I do look horrific, but that only lasts a couple of days, and then you can take this off, the bandage underneath that's just going to catch the blood to start off with. After the first night, you have to sleep sitting up as well, you can't lie down. But yeah, there's a couple of pictures here of that. Yeah, quite horrific. And then obviously I went back for a checkup on the Friday, and they said everything looked fine. Basically as well, if you notice, and I'm going to look straight at the camera now, you can see that my nose, I have slightly bent cartilage in my nose. So generally my nose is supposed to sit there, if you know what I mean, but you can see that it slightly sits to one side. Not that you'd notice, and I know you probably haven't, but they tried to fix that. So obviously they padded it in one side more to try and straighten that cartilage, and that's what they explained to me as well. So I had like a cast on padding all the way up my nose. You couldn't feel it, but it was literally up my nose, up the top there, and they said everything was fine. We did a little bit of sightseeing, and funnily enough, some of the people asked had I been fighting, you know. And it was a little bit painful. The nose was a little bit tender, the boobs was a little bit tender. Now, just to talk about the boobs a little bit, they sit quite high when you first have them done. So if you can probably see here, these have dropped. These are over 10 years old, so they literally sit quite high. I'll try and find a picture here of a month later when I went out, and then you can see that you're getting that sort of high top boob going on. Kind of a fake kind of look, but that after a few years they do drop, so that sort of fake sort of look doesn't stay like that. Also, your nose feels a little bit numb for a while, so because I had a lot done to chisel the cartilage away and made smaller, it did feel a little bit numb for I think for about a year, which you think is quite worrying, but the sensation does come back. Same with your nipples as well, they kind of lose sensitivity for a year or so. So yeah, I came back, I spent another week off work recovering basically from my nose. You have to wear a chest bra for about a month. You have to sleep in it. They only give you one, so you have to go and buy some more yourself. You basically sort of a bit like a sports bra, you've got to sleep in it. It's just to keep everything in place, because if you think about it, they've cut you open underneath your boob, they've made a pocket for the implant, and your body then has to sort of heal around the implants. Obviously you want to make sure that they stay in the right place, so the bra is basically just to make sure that nothing sort of gets moved around or jiggled around, if you know what I mean. So you wear that for about a month. It gets a bit tiresome and it feels like the month is lasting forever. With regards to the nose, I had about 6 stitches, tiny individual stitches under my nose. I came home with the cast. So I actually, about a week later, I removed the cast myself. And I had a little bit of a scab here because I think some condensation from the shower got under, so I had a little bit of a sore on the side of my nose there. And I did remove my own packing. I literally pulled out this packing. Oh, you would not believe how much packing you can get up your nose. I literally pulled it all out. It was a big heap of packing like that. It was great. I was so glad to get that out, because you cannot breathe through your nose for about a week and it's so uncomfortable. I was sleeping sitting up. That was probably the worst time. I was on painkillers as well, for both situations, and I think that was probably the worst thing. The packing is so uncomfortable. You just feel like you've got a heavy cold. To get that out and to be able to breathe again is amazing. So I went to my, when I'd done all that, I can't remember if it was 3 days later or a week later or 5 days later, but a few days after that, I went to my nurse at the doctor's, and she literally had to remove the like 7 stitches. Now they were individual stitches. She literally had to pull on these stitches and get a blade between them. So literally my eyes were streaming, just to get those out. But as you can see, I have no scarring at all. Yeah, I literally can't even see a scar. I'm really happy with the shape of my nose. It is a nice little ski slope now, as opposed to how it looked before. I'll pop a before picture again here just so that you can remember what it looks like. And yeah, so that was it. And then there was a load of controversy that came out a few years later about the PIP implants, and I was worried about mine. But anyway, this clinic doesn't use those, thank goodness. They use really good quality ones. And yeah, I've had them in now for at least 10, maybe more, 10, 12 years. So I can't remember the exact date. I'll have to pop it on the screen. But yeah, I've had them in quite a while, and I'm still totally happy with them. They still look great. They still look amazing. You've probably seen them in videos. You probably thought I'm quite heavy chested. Yeah, I mean, I have put a little bit of weight on now that I've hit my 40s. I don't know what it is about being in your 40s, but you just... it's not as easy to lose weight, put it that way. It's so not easy. from being a woman that's been able to be skinny all her life, you know, lose weight, put weight on, lose weight, dead easy, since I hit 40, and probably got with Sam as well. He likes to have his naughty food. He's only 30, by the way, so he's just turned 30 and I'm 43. So yeah, he likes his naughty food, and that obviously I'm not very good with control, and if he's having naughty food, I want naughty food. So you can see. So anyway, yeah, that was that. So they're the two major cosmetic surgery things that I've had done. The other thing I've had done as well is I regularly have Botox. Because I am 43 years old, I've been having Botox now for at least 5 or 6 years. I've gone through stints of not having it for a year, and then I've gone through stints of having it every 3 to 4 months. As you can see, it's slightly wearing off again now. I did have some done in December. So yeah, I've had Botox quite regularly as well, just to keep the wrinkles at bay. Generally, I have all of my forehead done, my crow's feet. Sometimes in the past, I used to have under the eye and my little, these are called bunny lines. Sometimes I used to get those done as well, but they can't put that much under the eye, so the effect is very minimal anyway. But they can definitely do the forehead and the crow's feet for sure. And the other thing that I've had done is I have tested lip fillers. I only had 1/2 ml. I'll pop a few pictures on the screen here as well. I think if I had them again, I would probably go for 1 full ml, not 1/2 ml. But they're a little bit puffier. But again, I don't want them to look fake, so you probably never guess that I'd had them done. But I did like them a little bit puffier. I don't want to start looking like fake, or you know what I mean. I mean, I don't start looking like I've got big uber lips that don't suit my face. So I'm not going to go crazy with that, and I want to keep it as natural as possible. Yeah, so but I have tried it. It is a little bit painful. The Botox again is a little bit pricky, a little bit painful, not mega, but if you don't like needles, then you might have a problem. But the lips kind of hurt a little bit more. I think certain areas on the lips do hurt. But it is bearable. I mean, and I hate pain, so if I can do it, you can do it, if that's what you want to try. Again, I would start off small. Like I said, I had 1/2 ml, and in the end, I suppose a ml would have been enough, but I didn't know that, and I would rather have played on the safe side. And to be fair, if you find someone that's going to do it for you anyway, they would advise you to play it safe, because as much as you can get them dissolved, it's better to start off small and just put a little bit in, and then if you want it a little bit bigger, then add a little bit more, and do it that way. I recommend that completely. I mean, nothing like that is permanent anyway, so Botox fades, Botox wears off, lip fillers will wear off eventually. But obviously with your other serious procedures, do think about it before you have it done. Do your research. It's not a quick fix. It isn't, it's expensive. You need to find somewhere that you can trust. You need to find someone that knows what they're doing. Don't go for these sort of backstreet places. I hear lots of horror stories of things going wrong, so do look into the place as much as you can, and find as many stories as you can on the internet. That's what I did, but I can surely give you the details of the Clinic Boca in Belgium, because on top of it, it only cost me 5,000, and then obviously the trip on top of that. So the trip was only there's the train tickets and the travelling and a few days in the hotel, but all that wouldn't have equated to one nose job in the UK. Okay, I could have had one nose job done between 5 and 6, but then I would have paid extra. I think it's about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 just to get your boobs done, so you've been spending 10,000. So I've saved quite a lot of money. So I would definitely recommend that. And to be fair, Belgium isn't that far away. I can pop some pictures on the screen of the Clinic Boca. It's really beautiful. It has some lovely grounds as well, and can definitely recommend it. So that's it for today's video. Hope I've given you a little bit more of an insight into who I am, and I just wanted to open up a little bit more about me. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to give me a big thumbs up, that would be brilliant. If you want to subscribe, you can do in the link below. If you like this type of video, please leave me a comment in the message box below, and I will see what other juicy videos I can come up with. I have got a few more in the the pipeline. But let me know if you do like this kind of video, and I will make some more. That's it for the video, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!